Hello my friends, I'm Duchess and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to draw eyes. Let's get started. I usually don't make informational videos, but I thought it'd be fun and maybe people will be interested in it. I always watch tutorials like this, so I thought it might be helpful for growing artists. I got these references from Pinterest and I'm going to be drawing them in my style. First off, I'm going to start off with a sketch of the general eye shape. The first eye is almost almond shaped but wider and the brows are pretty close to the eye. The second eye is almond shaped and the brows are not as sharp as the first one. The third one is almost like the first eye, but the eyelids are bigger and you can see that her brow is much further from her eye. Now I'm going to lower the opacity and trace the sketch in black. I use the same brush, which is my sketching brush, because I like this kind of texture. For brows, I only draw a few strands. I used color drop to find the shades of the skin, which is very helpful. Now I am adding lashes using my lash brush. I always add more eyeliner than there actually is because that's the way I like it. I also draw this faint line under the eye, which is supposed to be like the eye bag. I find this very pretty and I've been drawing eyes this way for a few years now. I usually start off with the lash at the corner of the eye. I find it easier for some reason. The lashes farthest away from the center are going to be shorter and the ones in the center will be the longest because that's just how eyelashes tend to work. On another layer, I color in the eyes with white. If you want to see more content like this, click the top right to see a video I made on how to improve your art. Then I used color drop to find the eye colors. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite eye color is. I think mine is probably hazel. I also used color drop to find the color of their eyebrows and I just filled in the brows with the solid color. I'm going to shade the skin a bit so it doesn't look too plain. I used a clipping mask and changed the layer to multiply. I find a saturated color that goes well with the skin tone. If the color I choose doesn't look good, which happens most of the time, then I use the Procreate tools to change the hues and the saturation of the color. A completely white eye is a bit unnatural, so I'm going to shade it. I always use a desaturated blue and then I blend it so that the eye isn't too bright. Using a new layer, I use a darker shade of the eye color to create a shadow on the top part of the iris. Dark green for the first one, dark brown for the second, and dark blue for the third. Then I added a light color at the bottom of the iris. For the pupil, I used my pupil brush. Yes, I have a specific brush for that, and make the pupils. I like to add lots of highlights so that the eye looks alive and very shiny. I went to the brows and did some erasing. I really like stylized brows where the ends are darker than the front of the brow, so that's what I tend to do for all brows. To make the eyes look shinier, I added some colorful details into the iris. I also did this because the eye reference pictures had a lot of colors in the iris. I don't normally have so many colors, but I wanted it to resemble the references, so I just added them. The last thing that I do is add some shine to the eye so it looks glossy like real eyes. Add some sparkles and darken the edges of the brows. I didn't draw an actual drawing of a person with a background or anything, so there won't be sparkles today. I did put sparkles in their eyes though, so I guess that counts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next week. Alright, so I'm done with these eye drawings, and that is all I have to show you guys today. If today's video taught you something new or was entertaining, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get notified when I post every Saturday at 12 p.m.